yelled enough here. Okay, welcome everyone. Opening up we'll be opening first with a public hearing for water and sewer shut-off notices for anyone that wants to speak on that. That'll be for 15 minutes, so the public hearing is open. We need to vote on it being opened.
No.
So it's officially, the public hearing on water and sewer is officially open for 15 exciting minutes.
The faucet is open.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Off and running. Jill, are you related to the Varicchias in Cold Spring?
Oh, yeah.
How so?
Well, which one do you know?
I know Jed, and I know Jay, and...
Jay is actually my brother, and his real name is Jerry.
Yes,
Yeah,
I know that.
That's my brother.
He grew up, our sons grew up together, so they're best friends,
Oh,
Jed
no
and
kidding.
Jesse, yeah.
Oh, wow, yeah. Do you have a lot of kids?
I have 5, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Close.
That's a lot.
In competition with the Varicchios.
Yeah. Like, how many under 5? Really, 4 under 5? It's nice they were able to stay here in the community, though. That's got folks up the road.
I saw that. Be cool.
We did, he said it was fun too.
Yeah. It's like we gotta call, I gotta pull that. So we gotta do something. You know, I don't even think Sally is from now, doing construction. So, but he was working with Jimmy. Jimmy did that. Doing boiler stuff. That's what he did before he started his business.
Okay, well, he's got it.
Yeah, so we gotta call him. But Chris did contact him or not?
Chris was one of the I didn't check his mail yesterday, so I'll go today to find out if he reached him.
Alright, I'll do you know, plus Bill's like making believe the end of the world's coming, so I know it has to be addressed, but I hate when they start going.
Yeah, they almost turn around and say now I'm going in the opposite direction. They almost turn around and they say now I'm going.
Oh, I know, I don't blame you. That's one of those hustling that I have. Stuff will just keep happening, it's never ending. Just end, please. Is he? Oh, yeah.
Garage is going into somebody else's.
He's up there?
As far as I know, because that was what I told you, he was complaining.
Okay.
So he was on that.
We would also tell Sal this could encourage future work.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, that crap job we did up on that patch job, we like chocolate, like a crossword puzzle. We were happy with that. Like why you can do a straight run or make it look, you know, a little more, a little neater.
Right.
Does anybody know if the road that leads into Butterfield, as you go down 9D, the first one you come to, is that gonna be one way when it's all done? I thought it was,
One way
okay.
out, yeah.
I tried to go in there today,
Yeah,
can't take a
no,
left.
you gotta go through the Chestnut Ridge and come around and come back.
Yeah,
Well, I think the one loops just building number 1. I think the first, there's gonna be 2 on that side, and one goes.
it's really narrow. Like if
Yeah.
you're heading south, you
Yeah.
can't take a left, unless you're going into the upper opening, because it's one way.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But I think
That makes sense now.
the entrance is gonna be past the new building, I think.
Okay.
Come around the back.
That's
of it.
for, but,
Because that road, because they've got that road pretty much, goes around past the new building and behind the old.
but I don't think, yeah, there's gonna be another, one way coming around building number 2, the one that's being built now, it comes
Mhm.
around
Yeah,
in front of the Leahy Pavilion, where the Leahy parking used to be,
Mhm.
that's where the road will be, somewhere in there.
I tried to turn around there today.
no, yeah, it's very small.
Well, they must be doing something, that's, the other one.
They cut the sidewalk out so they could.
Yeah.
I know, maybe that one's, maybe that one's a dead end and the other one.
Seemed like it's
The
dead.
other one loops around.
It's not
yeah.
connected now.
Yeah, the other one's loops, the one that goes on the,
It's very tight now. The parking spots are tiny too.
And they've
They're
got
right on top of each
a lot
other.
of these call it,
Keep going.
you know, going up the hill,
No,
one
it'll
of
be
these,
from a shadow.
like, little island things, where I think they put trees in there, but I think they have some poles or something, in there too, maybe lighting.
Probably, yeah.
Right, okay.
Which is nice, but it seems like it's enough of big, long things that take up a lot of space.
Well, it was,
Don't they
it
look?
was difficult to turn around there. Yeah, it was the truck,
Oh,
but still,
yeah, no,
More
it's,
expensive.
eventually I think that road will be open around.
that would make
The
sense.
lady people, yeah.
And tie into the other one further south. I don't know.
Yeah, I've gotten used to the fence, they usually just cut through, Chestnut Ridge.
Right now,
and around.
it's two-way,
Yeah,
because someone was pulling out of that.
yeah, that you can't
Spot.
go in when someone's pulling out,
No.
especially if you have a truck.
I just drove over the little island
Yeah, I was wondering if they're gonna leave that middle island there, but I assume that's sort of, I think
and
that's
it's
gonna be
permanent
out.
to me.
Yeah, I know, it's probably gonna be out going into town. I don't know, got me.
Do they have
Either
this?
would have left
Hey
that.
Steve, does the fire company have this on their income?
What, the party? Yeah, I'll check.
Breakfast outside.
And the pancake mix they're using.
Yeah,
Yes.
if it's not Jiffy, then I'm gonna.
This quick that has
This
that,
quick's okay with Jiffy.
has the, this quick has a jug
You shake it.
pre-mixed.
Shake it.
Yeah, and you just pour it, it's so great.
I haven't made pancakes in years.
That's like pure chemistry there.
Sandy, can't you complain about the water bill?
What?
Can't you complain about the water
No. I could, but it wouldn't do me any good. But it is what it is.
Well, we need it from there, we can watch our water bill come. You can log in online and watch
It is
bill.
going up, I will say that, but you know, with the pool, it's hard to tell. Ralph uses it well, like, because it's my water, not his, so he doesn't care.
That's what I'm saying. Did you explain that to him?
And I didn't get a shut-off notice, so I have nothing to go.
Neither did I. No shut-off notices.
No, I just.
Yeah.
I remember there was a big noise that almost ever come. No pictures.
Oh, no pictures?
Come on, kid, you can do whatever.
This is like an immortal event, me coming out of
So it's Mrs. Imposing. What's that?
this.
You know, she doesn't seem to be, but she always says she's
Where's
very
she
good. Right now she's living in.
Oh, really?
She was living in a place on Market Street, somebody was rented a renovated garage. But I think she said, I saw her at the tree line the other day, so they got a tenant to actually rent
Have
it.
you had a chance to read through the,
Yeah, I guess,
before
yeah,
that?
more full time than she was only gonna be there for another couple of months.
So the batteries.
So it's hard to get tenants, so she moved in. So she
There were others. I just started reading stuff tonight.
She, you know, she's the most even-tempered person that I've never really seen her get riled. Yeah, I just feel so bad for her, you know. She's not getting any younger. She's up there.
I almost got it actually. I'm glad I didn't. But,
Would you live in this kind of a house, and you live in a regular?
no, I think that's pretty hard. But the prefab thing scared me. Control what that looks like. You know, it's part of the contract, so it's really difficult to pull to bid that. And the guy comes out and actually said, "I
Is this with the Oregon plates?
Yes.
The red one with
Yeah, she likes that
and
spot.
they either park it next to, the guns, or they sometimes park it on. Yeah, they do.
guy
So when she backs
invested
up the cars
a whole ton of money.
Someone
on
must
it.
have carried can't, like, you know, guess where their son, whatever, can't go there.
Borrow that.
And they just leave it there for weeks.
Yeah.
Even if they
Interesting.
borrow that.
I
I mean,
lived in
it was
Roseville.
like a disaster, like they
It
dug the
has
whole.
Well, that's a different company.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of different companies.
Yeah.
The number was going to be.
They keep renewing it.
Particularly screwed up. The guy's doing it, doing a great
I
job.
mean, they've been, she said she's been trying to knock, she thinks it's,
Yeah, I mean, she was months behind when she went, this time last year, she was supposed to be getting out, getting the modules of the week. So we had a line them up like December, January. They had the whole thing, we had the whole thing on posted.
That way.
so, I told her, she put the thing on the windshield, she goes, well, nobody comes to the car.
Yeah, it just,
I asked, she started making fun of the, telephone company. You know, so it's not.
he used to park it every once in a while, he'd park it over, where the girls,
So we went for 10,000.
Diamond
Oh,
Inn.
yeah.
Every once in a
Oh,
while,
yeah.
he parked over there, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, they've got, a couple spots, and the one spot, it looks like it's gonna be moved in forever, because the inside.
Oh, really?
It's nice.
Yeah.
Is that something that we can get addressed in utilities, or is that, you know, streets that somehow coming up with something where you can park it for months?
We have, we would have put signage up on the street.
There's no like,
They're just talking about water, and she's thinking about some small companies, no looking to.
If the, town could do
I
something
can't remember
like
if they were
that,
like knitting or something, but they wanted a company with
We
a
could
scope
do
on,
something
they
like
can show,
that.
you know, they can work in the window and then have their things to sell. It's almost like on Main Street, but.
I think I'll try to resolve this Friday, and I'll leave it on there, just hoping that somebody goes and looks at it, just asking, you know.
She looked at it. They look like her. She really does. They look like her.
Jeff, that long conversation with.
Oh, did, oh,
He wrote down, color copy.
Oh, we had to go buy a new car at the store.
Hey, how are you?
Because we got a deer and destroyed our car.
I just got off the train, stuck
And our wife
to
would
eat
have died
at,
the next
Are you
day.
changing the entertainment?
in the entertainment,
Expensive
exactly.
weekend. Middletown.
Great.
Where his dad's Thanksgiving Saturday.
Oh, no,
He has no Thanksgiving.
no, he doesn't know where it is.
Driving home, he ran out right into the radiator, smashed it all in. Got all the way home. Shouldn't start. And that kind of damage. They gave us $4,000.
Yeah, right.
So
the very
your
first
job?
one, when they had his car, so he spent the money on driving up to the. They figured this would the last couple of guys.
I really did, I'm, for 2.5 years.
oh, yeah,
President is different.
originally,
Sometimes he like even came out of
there,
there.
and the engineer also has a portion of
Jack on the train to tell like.
so that director, here's their application, blah, blah, blah.
Thought you didn't drive.
41 minutes.
He's working, a lot's working, yeah,
Blind.
very active.
He was down that way.
Don't blame him.
This is her dad.
A little bit further back. Go.
I mean, when it comes to care, my friend, basically. Oh, yeah, he won't tell me.
Okay, ready?
Would you like me to make a motion to close the public hearing?
What's that, yeah, sure.
I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing.
And second?
Discussion, All in favor?
Aye.
We'll now begin our regular session, workshop. Tonight we have a presentation from Jill Verricchio, Putnam County Economic Development. So the stage is yours.
Oh, great. Thanks for including me and having me first on your agenda. I appreciate that, especially given the weather. So anyway, just as a reminder, Jill Verricchio here, president. Our organization is a 501c6. It's a private public entity, and it's 20 years this year. On behalf of my board, I want to thank you for including me on your
Can you
agenda.
speak up a little bit?
Sure. Oh, I can back up. That way you can hear me. In economic development terms, especially in the Hudson Valley region, you will hear about our assets, namely the 4 R's. And in Putnam County, I have found after being here for a year, we can go beyond the familiar 4. Namely, they are the roads, rail, river, nearby runways, but we also have reservoirs, rail trails, and remarkable business and government leaders committed to what I call thoughtful economic development. In 1996, the Putnam Economic Development Corporation was formed as a result of a 1994 joint venture with the Cornell Cooperative, the Putnam Planning Department, and the county legislature. It was a completed survey that was pretty extensive. It was interested in really studying what was going on in the business community in Putnam. They were addressing business expansion, retention, and as a result, 2 years later, they formulated the Putnam Economic Development Corporation. For the last 20 years, some say they've been quietly doing their business. I think I am the 3rd or 4th president of the organization. You probably know more about it if you've lived here the 20 years than I currently do. But anyway, that said, again, it's our 20th anniversary. And just as a reminder, our primary function, our vision, our mission is to be a facilitator, really connecting local resources with opportunities to develop and deliver economic growth. We work to cultivate and expand existing businesses as well as promote commercial real estate to attract new business. We market county assets such as, which you all know, that in New York City, the transit lines, the infrastructure, and our highly skilled workforce. We advocate to develop projects among municipalities and planning boards to ensure the growth of our county's tax base. We educate and assist local nonprofits, small businesses, and municipalities with incentive and grants. From New York State, which you probably anticipate this Thursday, the state of New York will be releasing its list of awards for the consolidated funding application process, which has been very competitive over the years, and we're hopeful that Putnam will be listed since we did make some applications to that organization. So we strive for a balanced growth throughout the county to meet the needs of a very broad audience. So tonight I'm here just to celebrate our 20th anniversary, to thank you for your commitment, your community's involvement and dedication to bringing economic vitality to Putnam. I've got some tokens of appreciation, and I firmly believe that doing civic work, stepping up, being elected officials is something to be very proud of. So I applaud you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
I do have correctly spelled, I hope, everybody's something to hang on their wall.
Oh, jeez.
Thank you, there you go.
Put it next to all my hate
Lynn.
now.
There you go. Francis Murphy. Steve. Okay, and a couple of things, should you want to call me. I have business cards with the lapel pins, which you're inclined to show your pride in relationship to the organization. Thank you. And as well, I have one for everyone here. And forgive me, it is an imported product from China, but I know.
What is it?
It's a tape measure that we like to say we're measuring up. We have a level, which we're on the level. And hold that thought as I say. If you think of something, write it down, send me a note, because you have to pay it to in there. So this is a multi-function product for you. Okay?
Thank you.
That's the one I got from Chase. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Did I get the one with the scribble on it?
Yeah, it's a signature, signed.
Sorry.
Here, I'm just leaving with you for your reference some information, literature, some of the recent information about Putnam County, and some information pertaining to, and I think Mr. Pugh, our resident real estate broker, had some questions about it, but we have some information about just a reference guide with regards to how every one of the villages in the county compare in terms of tax percentages paid by residential versus. Alrighty, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim.
Before we continue, there's a few thank yous that I want to shout out to some people over the past week or so. First, Chris Hyatt, our highway crew chief, passed the CDL license. I think it was the last day of his 2-month, the period in which he had to get it. He actually, the truck failed the first time he was there and had to get another appointment and did that within days and passed the test. So he's still on 6 months probation, but he does have his CDL. I'd like to thank Chris and the highway crew for putting together, all the Main Street decorations. They were up to like past 6 o'clock or one day getting it done before that one weekend. So to Chris and the crew, the highway crew, thank you for doing that. I think it looks very nice. I'd like to thank also Jeff Phillips and the Rec Commission for a fine job they did at the bandstand this last weekend, the tree lighting, and the fire company for driving Santa, delivering Santa to the bandstand. It was a really windy night, but quite a few people came out. A lot of very happy kids. It was a really nice event, and they did a really nice job. So thank you, Jeff, and Steve Etta, and the Rec Commission, and also Dan Dillon was helping out and doing the play-by-play. They put a lot of effort into it. Jeff had to go back down and actually tie everything down a little tighter because the wind was whipping up so much down there. So again, thanks Jeff and the Rec Commission for really, I think it looked really nice. Really did a good job. Also thank Vera Market up on Route 9. They donated the tree for the bandstand. So thank you, Vera. I think she does that every year, I'm pretty sure. Couple other things with winter arriving. If anyone would like to know if there's on-street parking or not, you can call 265-SNOW. What's that?
747 snow.
That's not it. This is what I just got from George. No? Okay. Don't call that number.
I will check.
It's one or the other.
I would hope that our officer in charge of that. Okay, well, we'll skip that for a second. Next, the Cold Spring Fire Company, this Sunday, the 11th, is having a breakfast with Santa from 8 to 11 at the Cold Spring Firehouse. It's a buffet-style breakfast, and all proceeds go to the Cold Spring Fire Company. So if you're hungry for pancakes on Sunday morning, stop by, support the fire
Correction
company.
on that, that's the Cold Spring Fire Company Auxiliary doing that, not the fire.
Oh, see, I get all the wrong information. It's not making me
I'm
look
so
good.
sorry.
You didn't do a
Okay.
nice flyer.
It's a nice flyer.
It's the auxiliary and the auxiliary gets the money.
Ah.
So the auxiliary gets the money?
Yes.
So
Okay.
don't look for it in.
Yeah, there you go, Fran.
So don't be hollering at the fire
What is it?
company.
747 snow.
Okay, so the snow number to call is 845-747-SNOW, as in SNOW.
747 SNOW.
And either the, I think that goes to the, does that go
It
to,
goes to George.
goes to the police. Okay, all right, so that's all I have. With our meeting, new business to consider quotes for purchase of highway department computer. Right now, the highway department has no computer. Ed, who had been there for 38 years, was not a computer guy, and so Chris is able to use one, and I think it will help greatly. So you have the quotes, Marie?
Yeah.
And,
We priced out 2 configurations. One was a laptop, the other was a desktop. Both of them would have Microsoft Office and Business. They would be configured as part of the village configuration, and they would have a printer. We felt that if Chris is going to use the device as we tend to use devices, he'll need a printer down there.
mhm.
So the cheaper of the 2, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, Fran, is the desktop.
Not if you include the screen,
Well,
The
not if you
monitor.
include
the monitor.
Okay, I've got
You have to buy the-
1149 for the,
Oh, I'm sorry, you're looking at total?
well, yeah, 1149 without the printer.
Right.
And with the printer, it's 1501,
Mm-hmm.
and the
And
laptop,
laptop is 1075,
it is cheaper then.
or with the printer
1075.
1427 roughly.
So then the laptop is cheaper. So our recommendation, we would want, it would seem to me we would want to have a cable, a locked cable, to keep the laptop from walking.
Unless he thinks he's gonna need it in the truck or on the roads or something, I don't think so, but, you know.
Yeah.
I think we should get a desk phone.
Yeah, does he want a laptop?
No, he hasn't asked for either,
Oh,
but
okay. Don't-
right now the only way to reach him is via his phone. And so if you wanna send him a schematic of a road or location of a crosswalk or something, you've got to sort of go down there or have him come pick it up
Right.
here. It just seems as if it would be a very practical thing for him to have.
I think that desktops last longer, from what I
Yeah,
understand.
Desktop
Desktop?
has a longer guarantee, it's got a 3-year warranty, where the
Okay.
laptop only has one. And it's not that much more expensive, it's about
About $100?
$70.
Not even, okay. So I make a motion that we purchase the proposed desktop, monitor, and printer.
Printer. So that'll be quote 1080.
1080, 1501.
1080 to 150169, yeah. I'll second that, Mary.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Get rid of the smoke signals now.
Yes, smoke signals going on.
Next is to consider M&T agreement to add accounts to Web Info Plus. This was a request from our accountant treasurer, Michelle. Fran, I think you have this one.
You know anything Marie has this one?
Do you have this one?
Yeah,
I know vaguely, but
right now, Michelle is dependent upon getting the hard copy reports, statements from the bank to begin her reconciliation process. This would accelerate her ability to do the reconciliation, as well as take a look in the middle of the month to see whether or not something has hit the books or not hit the books. So it seems like a very reasonable additional function for her to have available to her. Mary currently has this ability, but only for one of the accounts. So this would extend this capability to all of the accounts.
in this, we have to just authorize Meredith for the first signature.
Yes.
See that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to authorize our village clerk, Mary Sari, to sign the contract with expanded services with M&T Bank.
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Old business, we have none. Correspondence, New York State Environmental Facilities approval. And are these two locked together or no?
Yes, they are.
Okay, Fran?
Okay, I'm on. This paperwork that's in the packet this week is just sort of kind of an advice that we're gonna be voting on this next week. The EFC has advised us that they have approved our plans for the Fair and Market Street sewer rehab project. And that paperwork is here. There's a letter from the EFC dated November 21st. Bart has prepared the advertisement for bids, which is also in the packet, which we'll be voting on next week. In conjunction with all of that, conversations between our financial advisor, our bond counsel, and EFC, they have agreed that our bond resolution needs to be amended so that it will more clearly show that we have the ability to deal with the EFC on this. So Mary and I had conversations today with the financial advisor, with the bond counsel. They will do the bond resolution, they'll amend the bond resolution and have those papers ready for us for next week, so that we can approve them, so that we can go out for bids, and Mary has the advertisement for bids dated December 14th that she can sign. The amendment for the bond resolution will not cost us anything. It's something that they will just do for us. It seems that the EFC contacts the financial advisors and the bond council outside of the village and has all these discussions so that everybody knows what they're talking about, and then they come back and they tell us. So we're good to go, everything's fine. So next week when we get together, we'll be voting on the amendment for the bond resolution and I guess the okay to go out for bids.
Okay.
Everything should be on time. So Mary told them we specifically need to have this bond resolution amendment as soon as possible, so it's on next week's agenda.
Okay, so we're not doing the bid until we have
No.
the new
Yeah.
resolution? Okay. Okay, so that's just an informative little.
That's an informative little thing.
All right, thank you. Next is the Main Street project presentation and discussion of remaining items. As you may or may not know, you should know that Fran, Trustee Murphy, and Trustee Early, instrumental in actually, starting the whole, or getting the whole thing rolling, and then to almost completion with a few items remaining. But I'd like to personally thank, since we're in the thanking Christmassy mode, thank Fran and Marie for all their work on it. It was really a lot of work went into this, and I think the project came out well. Of course, there are some things that we would have liked to add, but that wasn't in the project. So anyway, thanks to Marie and Fran, and you guys can take it away.
Actually, this is something, what I'm going to do is update you on the financial status of the project and ask for your recommendation as to where to go from here. A little bit of background, the federal grant was an 80-20 grant. The federal government was putting up 80%, the village had to match 20%. So the total amount was approximately $1 million. It was a little under that, but approximately $1 million. And it was actually two grants. We refer to it as the little pin and the big pin. The little pin was about $225,000, and the big pin was about $737,000. The little pin was obtained by the village in 2007. The big pin was obtained by the village in 2008. So the first thing to note is that the little pin expires March 1st, 2017. And we have not drawn all the money from that pin. The way this works is the federal government says, you're going to get $225,000. Sorry, the federal government says, we're granting you $225,000. You can draw 80% of that. You have to put up the other 20. So 80% times 225 is $180,000. Then the DOT, who's the local administrator, says, you cannot draw more than 80% of that 80% until you reach final completion of the project. So right now on the little pin, we've drawn $149,000, and the DOT has stopped us at 78.7% of drawn money. So we're sitting with some amount of little pin money that we can't get until we close out the project. But the DOT is aware of that, we're aware of that, and the bill's ready to go once we get to final completion. The big pin is where most of the money is, and that is where most of the construction dollars are. We have completed construction on the Main Street project with two exceptions. The first exception is the trees and the planting of the trees. The contractor was unable to procure the right kind of tree, the right age of tree, and the right diameter of the tree for fall planting. And the DOT only permits planting up till November 30th. After that, you can't plant trees until the spring planting season. So we can find trees that meet our specs, but not in the immediate area. The closest we could find is a 5-hour drive away, and the contractor's not willing to do that. So we have an open amount of money for the trees. There's a second element to the project that has not yet been completed, and that is the lighting component. Originally, we had projected X number of LED additional lights on Main Street. Then we had feedback from residents that the LED lights provided by Central Hudson were too bright, they were too glaring, and the residents asked not to install any more LEDs. And so the village went back to Central Hudson and said, instead of LEDs, can we do area lights? Area lights are lights that protrude over the sidewalk as opposed to street lights which protrude over the roadway. Central Hudson agreed, Central Hudson came and visited, we identified the specific poles that were going to have area lights, and Central Hudson was going to install one test area light so that we could confirm that it did what we wanted it to do, which was illuminate the sidewalk area and not intrude on people who lived in the immediate area. On September 30th, we were notified that Central Hudson would not install area lights because of the negative results of area lights in other municipalities. So we went back to the DOT and said, we have to remove the lighting component, and the DOT agreed. Because the lighting component was not an essential element of the project and it did not inhibit pedestrian or vehicular safety. 2 weeks ago, I was notified by Central Hudson that they now have a 3,000 Kelvin streetlight, which is what we've been waiting for all along. Central Hudson believes that they'll get their first shipment of 3,000 Kelvin streetlights in the January timeframe. They will install a test location. We will go visit the test location and see whether or not our expectation of 3,000 Kelvin LEDs is what we have been reading about. And if that's the case, Central Hudson will then install those under a new PSC tariff, which has not yet been approved, which is scheduled for approval in February at a specific rate with 3,000 Kelvin LEDs. So those are the two elements that are remaining to be done, trees and lights. Fran and Michelle and I went back over the numbers, the financial numbers of the project, and we did this with the assistance of CHA, our consultants. And we are up to the 80% limit on the little pin. We have money that can be spent on the big pin, but it can only be spent on elements that were in our bid package, which are the Main Street sidewalks, the curbs, the trees, the lighting. And we have no more of that work that has been already designed. So we are essentially complete with the exception of those two elements. Right now, financially, we have $25,000 ready to be requested from the DOT on the little pin. We are expecting a $186,000 reimbursement on the big pin momentarily. We estimate about $30,000 more in payments that we will need to make to Contech, which is our construction company. We have in hand about $5,000 worth of claims from CHA, our consultant. We also we also have in hand a $2.6K bill from our contractor, which we'll have to do something about that, and I'll address that in a minute. And we have the $6,000 for trees, and we have, let's say, about $4,000 for lighting. That's what remains to be claimed, and that's what remains to be reimbursed to us. The question on the table is, should we terminate the project now and walk away from the trees and the lighting, but get the money that we can claim now? Or should we hold the project open for a period of probably 5 months or more? So here we are, December 1st. Trees are probably not going to be plantable until sometime in the April timeframe. So just projecting 4 months. So that's the question on the table. If we choose to wait until April, we will have to do the following. We will have to get agreement on the following. Contech, our contractor, will have to agree to the $30,000 estimate for remaining work. This has been sent to them by CHA, and we're waiting for their agreement on that. Contech will also have to agree to a UWA, which is an uncompleted work agreement. This is a standard agreement in projects, in municipal projects, where you say, we've got 80% or more of the project completed, here's what remains. It's described in an uncompleted work agreement. The contractor must reimburse the municipality for the amount of money in the uncompleted work agreement times 2. So we've got $6,000 in trees that haven't been planted. The contractor would have to give us $12,000, which we can do anything we want with until such time as the contractor has completed his work of installing the trees, at which point we give the contractor back half of that amount, $6,000. So everybody is whole, W-H-O-L-E, but we have a bit of a lever over the contractor. Not a lot, I mean, $12,000 out of over $400,000 of work is not a lot. But if the contractor walks away from us, we still have the $12,000 and can do the trees. We also need to get the DOT to agree to move some money around in the DOT way that they account for money. Specifically, we need them to move some money from construction to inspection. We just realized this today. And we need them to move some money from construction to design. We are under-expended in construction. We are going to be overexpended in design, and for whatever reason, no one has used any inspection dollars thus far, and we've had a lot of inspections. So we need to get money moved around, and we expect that the DOT will work with us on that. And we need to get the DOT to agree to extend the little pin from March 1st to June 1st or something. So our recommendation, Fran and my recommendation to the village board, is to keep the project open, to execute an uncompleted work agreement between ourselves, the contractor, the Department of Transportation, and our consultant, and along with all of the other elements, and wait until springtime for the trees. Meantime, I've been working with Central Hudson to get all of the elements lined up for the lighting element. So that's our recommendation, to sit on the project for another 5 months. Now, that means that the village has $25,000 that hasn't been reimbursed to us, and we will have to pay an additional $52,000 in design and 52, probably 60,000 in design, and some other elements which are reimbursable. We still haven't hit the 80% of the 80% in the big pin, so we should be able to get that money back.
So the monies you just said, was it 60,000? What was the last number you just said?
60,000 in design.
So
yeah.
the 60, we'd have to come up with that money.
Well, we would come up with the money, the DOT would reimburse us
And
on
reimburse
that.
us, but we'd have to wait till completion of the job.
No, we think, if we can get the money moved,
Right, okay.
okay,
I thought you
we
were
shouldn't,
saying that.
no, we shouldn't be out that
Oh,
money.
okay.
The only thing at this point we have to wait for completion is the 80% of the 24,000.
Right.
Right.
Because that pin, the little pin is at the 80%
Okay.
mark.
We don't
So-
envision getting to 80% of 80% on the big pin.
Right, okay.
How much is the money being moved from the inspections?
Well,
Do you know that amount?
yeah, I mean, I think Christina's gonna go through that again with their numbers and the DOT.
Right now, inspections were estimated at $40,000. 0 has been charged to it. All of the inspection work has been charged to construction. So we need to move those actuals from construction to inspection, or move the inspection dollars into construction.
And just to be clear, that we get the bills that way, marked construction or inspection or
Right.
design from our advisor from CHA. We present them to the DOT that way, they pay us that way. So everybody's sort of on the same line, it's just that
There was a
they have
discount.
allocated 50,000 for the last step, which is inspections, and nobody has seemingly
Has used it, yeah.
has used it yet.
Hmm.
So, I mean, it's there, and we should be able to talk with Doreen about moving it to where it needs to be, or rearranging our bills, whatever. I mean, the bills have been paid, they've been submitted, they've been paid, we've been reimbursed, so there's none of that. It's just a case of which line it goes on.
So I guess we'd like to make a motion to hold the Main Street project open until the spring.
second that motion.
I agree. I was hoping you were gonna go there, so, that would have been my choice. It's like, we're not gonna lose money just to get things closed up. So, I feel fine.
I just had one question. Do you anticipate any objection from our construction company to leaving it open?
No, the construction if there is going to be an issue from the construction company, it's going to be on the $30,000 estimate. There were elements of the project where our consultant has limited what they will permit the construction company to charge. Specifically, we have to abide by all the DOT rules. DOT rules say that all concrete has to be discharged from the truck within 90 minutes of the truck leaving the concrete yard. And that's down in Westchester. And specifically, the pouring of the concrete for the curbs on Furnace Street significantly exceeded the 90 minutes. And so our consulting firm told the contractor that we will not pay for X number of feet of curbing. We went to the DOT and asked for a variance on that rule because Furnace Street had trees and overhead wires, which we took down.
Yeah.
It was a problem, and the DOT would not waiver. They said, no, 90 minutes. The contractor said, we'll have the concrete tested, we'll have the poured curbs tested, we'll have an engineer come in and test to make sure they have the structural integrity necessary. DOT said no. So that's where, if we're going to have a problem, the contractor will say, I want more money. And CHA has told us, no, don't give them that money. So that's where I would expect a problem. Fran, your opinion, any other areas where we might see a problem?
I wouldn't say it would be a problem, but we need to sort of stay on top of our contractor in terms of buying the trees.
Yes.
That they need to pick them now and not wait until when they think they're gonna go just shop for them, because that's what happened now. They went to shop for trees when they
That's
thought they were
what
gonna
led
plant
to the
them, and there
delay.
was nothing,
Yeah, I see.
nothing was there.
So
that's-
we want to make sure that the contractor procures the tree now, orders the trees, and has them winter over or whatever
Yeah.
at the at the nursery, so that we'll be ready to install
Sure.
at the proper time.
Anything else? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you again for all
Thank you
your
very
work,
much.
guys.
No, thank you. It's
Good
huge.
job. Let's see, approval of bills,
Batch number 3845 for $65,443.87.
make a motion to accept or approve, sorry.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Let's see, approval of the minutes, Board of Trustees workshop, November 22nd. A motion to accept.
So moved.
I will second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Is that the only one? I think it is, right?
Yeah, up to date.
We will be going to executive session, and when we come out of executive session, we are not going to be voting on anything or continuing. We'll just close the meeting, adjourn the meeting. So I'll open the floor to any public comment. Yes?
Donald McDonald, 10 B Street. I just want to add my thanks to Marie and Fran for their work on the Main Street project. I observed them all during it, at all hours of the day and night, out there, keeping track of it. And being in the construction business myself, I know how much time is spent, not on the construction site, but going through the drawings and the papers and the change orders, this, that, and the other. And I know that you guys had to do all that, not to mention dealing with the federal government and HUD or all the other alphabet soup of organizations. And so I want to say thank you. Job well done.
Anything else? I'll make a motion to go into executive session to discuss contract with the boat club.
Second?
All in favor?
Right.
I'll do the end.